Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. My name's Nate. If you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode's a pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Barnett versus Nelson, a heavyweight top contenders clash of the ages in Japan. So, it's a pre-fight show of the main card, so let's get started. Yeah, let's start off with the main event. Why not? Okay, so the main event is former UFC heavyweight champion Josh Barnett versus Ultimate Fighter Season 10 winner Roy Big Country Nelson. This fight, you got guys with great grappling credentials. You got guys that can strike. They're both experienced veterans, well-rounded. Man, you know, I ended up picking Josh Barnett by decision on this one. The reason why is because I think Roy Nelson could take a punch. He doesn't quit. Submitting him is going to be tough because he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Roy Nelson, you know, he has a ground game. I mean, you know, he could wrestle too if he wants. You know, he's not known for it, but he's capable. Josh Barnett, you know, he has, you know, great grappling credentials too. And so I see this as the grappling cancels itself out. And I think this fight stays standing. And I think Josh Barnett gets Nelson up against the cage and keeps pouncing on him, keep working in the clinch, land some elbows, land some uppercuts, land some hooks, and route to a unanimous decision victory. I think Roy Nelson's going to be looking for the overhand right way too much, and the footwork of Josh Barnett will be too good, and he won't fall for that. And Josh Barnett has rarely been knocked out, so if Barnett does get knocked out, it'll be a pretty shocking thing. Yeah, Barnett, he got knocked out by Travis Brown quick, but you know, this isn't Travis Brown. This is Roy Nelson, who's you know, a little slower and more calculated with trying to land the overhand right or possibly go for a submission. But yeah, again, the grappling is thrown out the window. So yeah, I think Barnett takes little damage in this fight. He plays it smart and he plays it safe, and he wins each round convincingly and gets a unanimous decision win. Yeah, then in the co-main event, we have a middleweight bout with Gegard Mousasi versus Uriah Hall. Two highly skilled middleweights. You got Mousasi, who's smack dab in the middle of the top 10 in the rankings, and then Hall looking to get in that top 10. I went back and forth on this one. I think, though, what some of the other people are saying, you know, about this fight is, you know, Mousasi does have more experience on the ground, and they're both great strikers. They're both known for their knockouts and their flashy punches and kicks. I think Gegard, he will play it smart. He will act like he's going to do that first, then go transition from striking to looking into a single leg takedown, maybe a double leg, get it, and then work inside Uriah Hall's guard and just work some ground and pound. And I am picking Mousasi by submission round 2. I think Gegard Mousasi, he's capable of winning by submission, and in this fight he will. Now I've met Uriah Hall. I hope I want him to win. You know, but I like Mousasi too. I'm a fan of both these guys. So good luck to both of them. Yeah, so I'm picking, though, Mousasi, second round submission. Then in the flyweight division, we have Koichi Horiguchi versus Chico Camus. And Horiguchi, you know, he was able to put up a fight for the first 2-3 rounds of the Demetrius Johnson fight he's coming off of, that he lost by submission super late in round 5. Which was, I believe, an arm bar, and there's only 1 second left in that 5th and final round. And, you know, Horiguchi, though, he was able to hang in there for most of the fight, or for some of the fight with Demetrius Johnson, the current UFC flyweight champ. And, yeah, Horiguchi, though, he, you know, I think this guy, the sky's the limit still. I could picture him working his way to a rematch with Demetrius Johnson, and putting up maybe a slight tougher fight with Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson had to find his rhythm, in the middle of that match. I mean, it took him a good round, I would say, to find his rhythm before he started outpacing him and then get that submission. So Horiguchi is just well-rounded. He's an experienced veteran. He's had a lot of fights. Chico Camus, it's no joke either. He trains with Duke Rufus, and he trains with the likes of Eric Koch and Anthony and Sergio Pettis and CM Punk, and yeah, Chico Camus, experienced veteran too, but and Chico's fairly well-rounded. Obviously, Chico's training with Anthony Pettis. He's great at the strikes, the flashy strikes. But I think in this fight, Horiguchi gets it done. He's just too good. And so, yeah, I'm picking Horiguchi by decision. I think he mixes things up in this fight. And he will, I think, possibly look to grapple with him. I think it'll be a mix of grappling and striking, where it's striking to set up the grappling. And, yeah, I think Horiguchi gets it done by submission. And I don't know if this will be the most flashy fight on the whole card. I mean, Chico could make it a flashy fight, but I think Horiguchi will shut that down, and this will be a decision win for Horiguchi and a good win to get back on track. Yeah, then in the bantamweight division, also on the main card, we have Takeo Mizugaki versus George Roop. George Roop, experienced veteran, but his win-loss percentage, his win-loss percentage is like it's over 50%. And Takeo Mizugaki, on the other hand, I mean, the guy is a beast. And it's like, okay, yeah, he loses Dominic Cruz, but when you lose Dominic Cruz, there's no shame in it. And Takeo Mizugaki is an experienced veteran, and I think as long as he uses head movement and avoids the reach game of George Roop, because George Roop has the height and reach advantage, and Takeo Mizugaki knows this, so I think Mizugaki is going to look to close in, to clinch up with him, and then look for takedowns, ground and pound. And I think Mizugaki gets it done by unanimous decision on this one. I think it's a good win for Mizugaki, for him to really get back on the winning track of things. So yeah, I got decision due to ground and pound and just the clinch game of Mizugaki in this fight. Then in the featherweight division on the main card, we have Katsunori Kikuno versus Diego Brandao. Now Kikuno, he's fought at lightweight against the likes of Tony Ferguson. Diego Brandao, he's fought the best of the best in the featherweight division. He's fought against Darren Elkins. He's fought against Conor McGregor. Kikuno, though, when he fought Tony Ferguson, he was able to land some hard shots on Tony before eventually he got taken out by Tony. And I look at this as he's a Japanese fighter fighting in Japan. I think he will be really in that mindset of like, oh, I can do this, I'm going to win. And Diego Brandao, being the Brazilian, I think it'll get into his head just like it did when he went to Ireland to fight Conor McGregor. And I think Katsunori Kikuno gets it done by first round knockout. I think he starts landing fairly early on. I think after a couple shots, he starts rocking Diego Brandao and then just finishes him because he hits hard, and Kikuno is a good technical striker. So yeah, I'm picking, and also just Kikuno is average to big size lightweight, so him dropping down to featherweight, it's really, I think he's definitely going to have some advantages there in featherweight. I think as long as he's good for it, I mean, it's not too big of a weight cut. He's going to be bigger than a lot of featherweights in that division, and so I got Kikuno winning this fight. For here and now, at least. Who knows, where we'll go down the line, but for here and now, he gets this one done, first round knockout against Diego Brandao. yeah, then and then to kick off the main card, we have a featherweight clash with um, Mizuto Hirota versus Teruto Ishihara. Ishihara. Yeah, these were the two finalists from UFC Road to the Octagon, Japan. And I watched this whole series. It was on Fight Pass. I actually enjoyed it. It was fairly entertaining, and getting to meet these fighters on the show. Not physically meet, but see it on the show, see what they're all about. I think that Hirota, him being a previous UFC veteran, having those losses, and then going on a win streak outside the UFC to get another shot at the UFC and end up on the show. I think his experience gets it done. But, he wasn't known as the most flashy, exciting fighter to watch. And that's what a lot of the critics were saying about him. So I got Hirota winning this fight by decision. I think it will be, somewhat technical. I think, though, eventually, basically this fight will stay standing, and he'll outpoint Teruto and get the decision win. I think 29-28 or 30-27, a unanimous decision win for Hirota, because it's just his experience, his determination. He's focused, and I think if anything, he gets this win for now. And if he stays on track and focuses, he could get some more wins in the UFC and really kind of redeem himself from the first time. So there you have it. That is my pre-fight show for UFC Barnett vs. Nelson. Stay tuned for my post-fight in the coming days. Until then, see ya.